In this whimsical scenario, envision God taking on the role of a jaded, sarcastic, elderly gentleman who derives amusement from inflicting suffering and misery upon humanity. Imagine him seated comfortably in a lavishly furnished office after the world's creation, engrossed in a book. Before him lies a grand table symbolizing the earth, adorned with trees, roaming elephants, and primitive inhabitants. With nonchalant ease, God casually rests his feet upon the table while immersing himself in his reading. Curiosity piques the subservient butler Geoffrey, who inquires about God's satisfaction with the book. With mild contentment, God responds. Interestingly, the pages hold a recipe for a black hole. As God turns the page, a casual glance reveals the newfound liveliness of Earth's inhabitants, all sparked by a primitive man's tireless act of rubbing a stick against a rock for hours on end. God derives amusement from the unfolding events and becomes intrigued by the actions of the people. Suddenly, his attention is captivated as the man successfully ignites a fire. However, this act of independence displeases the Creator, igniting fury within him. He questions the current era on Earth and discovers from the butler that the timeline is not aligned with his plans, with fire still 200,000 years away. Filled with rage, God commands his butler, Geoffrey, to extinguish the fire. Without hesitation, Geoffrey complies, blowing forcefully towards the crowd. The people perceive the gust of wind as a powerful force that promptly extinguishes the flames. Frustration overwhelms them, causing them to fall to their knees in helplessness. Gradually calming down, God resumes reading his book, expressing annoyance at the people. He orders Geoffrey to guide them into a cave, and the obedient butler gestures, influencing the elephants on the ground. The animals trumpet fiercely, charging towards the crowd of people who, filled with fear, swiftly seek refuge in a nearby cave. God contemplates the notion of diminishing their intellect as a potential solution. Soon after, the people emerge from the caves and find themselves back in the meadows, engaging in a ritual dance with hopes of summoning rain. Perplexed by their actions, God swears in frustration, unable to comprehend their preferences. Geoffrey clarifies that they had forgotten to turn off the drought on Earth. With a weary sigh, God, touched by a sense of generosity, permits the butler to provide them with water. Surprised by this unexpected act of kindness, Geoffrey smirks and remarks, "God is merciful," while spraying the earth with water from a mister. The people raise their hands to the sky, rejoicing in the refreshing rainfall, and the Creator chuckles like a child, delighting in their joy. Playfully, he requests the butler to spray a few more times, reveling in the amusement of their behavior. After sharing hearty laughter, God settles down with his book and casually instructs Geoffrey to unleash a plague. The butler is taken aback by the sudden change in the Creator's disposition, and his smile dissipates. He places the mister aside and dutifully approaches an antique box containing a foreboding vial. Geoffrey casts a cautious glance at God, his expression impassive, as he releases a plague upon the earth from the vial. Instantly, people collapse, their agonized cries filling the air. God stares vacantly at the human suffering for a few moments before resuming his reading. Time passes, and now, on God's table, a modern-day London replaces the primitive tribe. The Creator, adorned in silk pajamas, sits beside the table, displaying boredom as he gazes upon the scene below. Geoffrey presents God with a bottle of exquisite wine from Lucifer, while Satan delivers another letter to the Creator, offering suggestions for resolving the situation and expressing a desire for some leisure time to go bowling together. Listening with indifference to the message from Lucifer, God directs Geoffrey's attention to a tall building in the city. The butler informs him that it is Ashley Tower. The Creator lazily rubs his eyes and orders Geoffrey to ignite both Ashley Tower and the adjacent building. His curiosity lies in observing the reactions of the people. Geoffrey retrieves a box of matches from his pocket, lights one, and hurls it towards Ashley Tower. God rejoices, commending Geoffrey for a perfect throw, and delights in the anguished cries of the people. With enthusiasm, he watches as individuals scramble to the rooftop, desperately seeking escape from the engulfing flames. He warms his hands over the fire, mockingly mimicking their pleas for help. Swiftly, police and fire trucks approach the scene. God inquires of Geoffrey what he believes those on the rooftop are contemplating in that very moment. The butler surmises that their thoughts revolve around their families and the hope of being rescued. Gazing thoughtfully at the building engulfed in flames, the Creator directs Geoffrey to unleash a twister, or a sucker, upon it. Inferring that God is referring to a tornado, the butler acknowledges its rarity in the city. The creator's frustration intensifies as he derides the people as insignificant jesters and expresses disappointment over their failure to explore other universes in space, which he whimsically created one Sunday night for his own entertainment. Consumed by anger, God demands a tornado. With slight hesitation, Jeffrey complies, conjuring a tornado directly above the burning structure. The natural calamity decimates the individuals on the rooftop, causing dust to permeate God's office. Coughing, the creator orders the tornado to cease as the air becomes increasingly difficult to breathe. As the dust settles, a sense of satisfaction washes over God, prompting him to request Jeffrey to bring him some marmalade toast.